Hi, this is Jaquel Walker, ready for the new Me 32. I was trying to upload some videos because I was going through my pre-op and everything. Well, I had my surgery December 20th, which was last Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. And I stayed in the hospital until Friday. And the only reason why I stayed in the hospital until Friday was because anemia runs in my family, so they had to make sure that I wasn't losing enough I wasn't losing a lot of hemoglobin. Also, this is TMI, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I was throwing up old blood, and the reason why was the first. You're told not to drink anything first 24 hours. Well, what happened was I go in there. I'm in my room, in my room, and there's ice and water up there, and then like me instantaneously, you're just like your mind automatically reaches for water. So I'm reaching for it and I'm drinking it a little bit, eating the ice, and I'm like, I wasn't thinking because I was like, oh my God, I'm thirsty. And I was like, damn, with hindsight, which is only 2020, why the hell did they put this ice in my room? And I know they forewarned me, but I was just like, oh, I'm still like under it and everything else like that. So what happened was it caused my stomach to be restrictive and it caused all the stuff to be forced out of my mouth and also rectum. But everything is fine. I also had a little bit of high blood pressure and he was trying to figure that out, but everything was fine. Legitimately, it was fine. I've been home since Friday. So I was able to spend Christmas Eve at the house. So today is Christmas Day, I don't even know the date, December 25th, 2011 at 6:45, 4 p.m. Um, what I've noticed from being in the hospital to today, your palate does change. Your taste, I mean, it does change. Like, so right now, I bought this yogurt, which is the light kind dessert, Boston cream, and I was eating it, and I was like, oh God, like this is sweet. But prior to that, I had tasted, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. But I realized it bomb because I was like, oh, this is going to make it through. And I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like, no, it's too sweet. I can like taste the Splenda. And I don't know if that was always normal or what. Also, I ended up getting nectar fuzzy navel. Now that's been working for me. So I've been doing that, walking around, all that other kind of stuff, being on the little paranoia side. But other than that, I'm doing fine. So for the time being, I'm doing good. I had today a mental breakdown. Um, it's not that, well, really, I'm not used to not spending Christmas with my family. So that was one of the hardest parts for today. I'm about to start crying. Sorry. Normally I get to see my family or spend time with them, but the surgery, which is fine, which is for the better to help me, I couldn't make it to home. So I'm stuck here where I live. Well, I live here, but I'm originally from Seattle. But I live here in Texas. So I had to stay here to get the surgery. And I've had a great friend. She helped take care of me. But for the most part, I'm stuck doing it on my own. So, excuse me. That's the hard part. And that's the mental part. So if you have anybody that can help you, please let them help you. It's not the fact that I can't move around. Of course, I can go get in the shower, all that. They took the on-cue pump out before I left because I was in there for so long. I was in there from Tuesday to Friday, so everything else was in there. But I also have an owie. I mean, it just feels like one of my incisions has been closing, so I gotta call them on Monday to see if I need to get some kind of thing there to actually some type of I need a padding because my breast, I'm not wearing a bra right now, and so it's rubbing on the wound, the incision wound. So I'm just holding it, to make sure that the air, keeping it aired out and that kind of stuff, because I don't want it to get infected. So that's another thing. So I have to go out there because I need a barrier between my left breast and my left incision. The right breast is fine because they don't do anything on the left side, so everything is fine. Everything is okay, but for the most part, that's the only part that's not healed. It was not look like it's closing, but everything else is actually closing pretty good. Um, so I'm trying to been laying down for a little bit, but you gotta walk. Now, I know I'm just talking and talking and talking, but I'm just going through what's been going on with me for the last few days. When I was in the hospital, I thought the beef broth was salty. Um, and so that was just like weird to me. But other than that, I'm fine. Like for real, I'm fine. Just to get a little paranoia because I'm just like, oh, this is interesting, whatever. I'm doing too much moving. And I was like, I'm cold, but I was like, dang, it's freezing here. And I was like, oh, because I had to make sure I don't have a fever or anything else like that. So I used the thermometer, everything said it was fine, 98.3. So I know that I'm fine. So, what was I going to say? Trying to get my proteins in. I made the last time from now until I go to bed, I'm going to be sipping on 2 scoops of protein because you'll be sipping on that protein shake all day. You will. And so you can't force yourself to drink it like you normally do, so you have to be careful. So I doubled it up at the end. Other foods with protein in it. Right now, I'm not really afraid to try much of anything, but I kind of am. But yesterday I had, what did I have? A Progresso soup. It was a corn chicken flavored with bacon and I thinned it out with water. And OMG, it was so good to me. So I was sipping on that. And it was just weird because I just felt like I was hungry all day, but I wasn't really eating anything. So what I did was trying to play it safe. Playing it by ear doesn't work. So I literally have to measure my food. Um, I did it today. A half cup gets me full. Like to the point where if I eat one more bite, this is not going to be good. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, because I did another half a cup of this, what I'm going to do tomorrow is probably lower it to 1/4 to see. So see how that works. So I'm doing my protein shake. I also got to get my water in, but I'm doing the protein with the water. So hoping that will count, but I'm trying to get some water in. And again, you just can't throw it back. I bought bottled water. I tried the tap water, which is odd, and I just felt sick to my stomach. And that water just is airy. So it's like too much air, or I'm sipping too fast, or something. It's just like killing. Oh yeah, gas pains. Gas pains are no freaking joke. No freaking joke. I thought I was gonna have a freaking coronary attack. I'm sitting up here pushing the nurse's button, and she was trying to explain to me, sweetie, it's common. I'm like, oh, please help me. And she's not laughing at me, but she's like really trying to explain, like, sweetie, Miss Walker, there's really nothing. It's a known fact that how they do it, and you have to wait for it to pass. So finally, it passed, and I still have a little bit of gas, but it's really up in the air. So I'm like making sure, like, oh, I'm like, am I having a heart attack? But again, that's the paranoia snapping in on me. Um, the only thing I could say is take care of yourself, which is what I'm doing. I'm just walking around, making sure I get the blood circulating throughout my body, um, and just know that you did this for a reason. Because I had to tell myself that. I did it for a reason. I did it to save my life. Because when I weighed in at 351. But prior to that, um, I weighed in at 358. But from last year to this year, I actually gained I was down. I gained a total of close to 60 pounds from last year when I was down. So I had to remember that, and I am constantly remembering that. If you have a support group, that's fine. Get you one. Um, I have my best friend, and I met another young lady who had it before me, and I talked to them. My best friend is hard to reach, so I really don't deal with her too much. But I talked to the other young lady, so they are. Well, she has been actually my rock, and I also have a friend who's been had the lap band surgery, so she's on my side as well. For the most part, like I said, I'm just rambling on about what's going on with my life. You got to have a support group. No support, it's not going to work. And you also got to make sure that you know when you're full and what you can and cannot take. So that's also a learning experience. So these last few days, since being out of the hospital, last couple of days, it's been one of the things that I have to work on my own, because you have to learn how to eat on your own. Even when you're in the hospital, actually, there is no portion control. So the water, all that other kind of stuff, sipping slowly, making sure you don't have any gas, the gas issue, and make sure you're taking care of yourself. So I'm looking at my incision. So it looks pretty good though. So everything else is fine. Um, so seems like I'm blabbering, but I'm not. So even if I only have one person that hits me up or looks at this, just know that if you need any help, we can do this together. So, and good luck to all the people that have theirs coming up in the near future.